onward to the pitch. We do have Machine and Sponge ready to deliver all of that action.
Very much. Trace Senatorrenthus, I appreciate that alongside Pimp and Sean Gares. I am joined by the delightful Chad Sponge Birchill. And we've got ourselves a game. We've got ourselves a pistol round. We're in.
Beautiful server conditions down here on the pitch as it's looking like it's going to be a BXecute off the bat with all 5 members congregating over towards this part for TYLOO. Smoke and Flash in the hand of Ben Tet.
Sun is shining here in Mirage.
Beautiful day.
Good conditions for some fragging. And Breezy, well, he's certainly set up for it. He's boosted up, quite unorthodox, but what is this precision? He's been on another level so far. Inferno, a spectacular, close to 40 in regulation from Breezy. A big factor in NRG managing to close out Inferno. Fugly and Ethan doing the same, taking a leaf out of his book. Left to Ben Tet, who has equally been on the ball, but not today. That's going to be another pistol round for NRG.
I'm curious to see the T side of TYLOO in this map. In the first map of Inferno, they just did a lot of defaulting. They postured, they did mid-rounds, went onto bomb sites and traded, had a few pocket strategies when they needed. But other than that, we didn't have too much crazy aggression. You know, it wasn't just pushing through smokes. It wasn't just going all in on a lot of situations. They were quite reserved. Their CT side, on the other hand, the aggression was there. Something to note with the new TYLOO roster, we are yet to see them play Mirage. So we've seen them play Inferno twice, Overpass once, and this will be their debut with this roster on Mirage. So be interesting to see the new positions, the new players, what kind of take they have.
You can see Fugly's catch towards Apps there to finish things off onto Ben Tet. Even though I know it should have been an impossible round to win, as soon as I see his name left, can't help but wonder.
So this is just a partial pistol buy here. 3 deagles, 2 flashes.
And quite the contrary for the CTs. They've gone all in. No messing around, just Daps with his signature weapon, and everyone else is in it for the longevity. Now, what's going to be the game plan? You've got 2 flashes.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is going to be a whole lot of cash for Daps if he plays it right. The Canadian could get caught off, though he does. Smoke in his hands, and he does go down. Now they start to swarm in. That flashbang's worked well, because now they've got site control. The bomb, however, loose. Slippy fingers from attacker. Ethan forcing his hand, and now it's just going to be Summer. This should be over. But 2 kills. TYLOO not going to be too disappointed about that one. Nice work from Breezy to find himself his second frag of the round, and we are off to a flying start.
Just to note, the reason you see so many rifles come in on that second round, if they are expecting TYLOO to go for the eco, is because if you have the SMGs, and then they do just go for the eco, sure, you're going to get a boost of economy, but going into the third, you're going to be severely outmatched as far as weaponry is concerned.
Especially if they don't kill you, I guess. You have to make that choice.
Precisely. And then the cue from TYLOO to go for deagles, you can find some long-range Jules verse rifles. So it's kind of like a cool back and forth, right? What pistol do you want to fight against an AUG? Well, probably a deagle. So that was an interesting little exchange there. But the full gun round comes in. Mid-control has been feigned as the majority of players from TYLOO make their over towards B. As Daps, top mid-smoke, Breezy, they're with him. And they have mid-control completely under their belt. So at this point, they can pivot if they'd like. They can go back towards the bomb sites, leave one player in limbo and mid, because TYLOO now has to clear with utility before they can consider that part of the map theirs.
So they've left Summer to his own devices, and he's not doing too much. Certainly not showing face towards Palace. Just lingering there off the opener. Cirque's jump for info doesn't render him anything just yet, despite Ben Tet's presence there. Molotov's going to be coming in from short to support. And I ought to stop rhyming.
It's your flow, man.
Yeah, man, watch me go. Let's see. Currently, the CTs from A haven't really been pushing for so much info. It is going to be quite a reserved NRG. Letting TYLOO come to them. Mid-control starting to be gathered. Ben Tet, of course, coming from under. We saw Azza do incredible things with persistent presence there. Intrigued to see if Ben Tet can do the same. Of course, Renegades locked in for the next stage of competition. First team to go 3-0. The next one will be determined after this series. Whether it was to be Mirage or Train, we're about to find out.
Look at Breezy, he's such a nuisance. That boost early, finds one in transition, and now Fugly left on the side as the rotation comes in. Should mop this one up with ease, as Excurate had to win that duel if he wanted any hope, and he'll go down. That's 3-0 now in favor of NRG. TYLOO have a question, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a save or just a light pistol upgrade here. I wouldn't be expecting a full investment right now. It doesn't make much sense. They haven't put pressure on the economy at this point. They don't have enough money to go for a full buy.
Breezy has just been such a what was the word you used? Nuisance? Yeah, I think that's a perfect embodiment of what he's been managing to achieve on both CT and, of course, T over on Inferno. But he started this defense with an equally as powerful presence. Nade towards top mid does just tickle attacker.
Like a little tacker?
A little... What's a tacker?
That's how we reference like a little kid in Australia.
That's so Australian it hurts. Oh, you got a wee... You don't say we, you're not Irish,
No,
do you?
we're not Irish.
No, okay, really messed that one up. Glad I didn't finish that impression. I don't think it'd have lasted long. In the meantime, Bentet gives the brunt of a HE grenade, and Ethan is very comfortable. Like, these guys are just taking the fights and they're winning them. Closing this one out. Does have Kevlar and that Deagle, and a shot doesn't connect. Breezy finds himself another 2 in the round, 7 in total as we venture into round 4.
This stat that I'm about to reel off for all the viewers at home, the context of this is key. Back at IEM Shanghai Grand Final, which I've already highlighted in the previous map, they played, TYLOO got owned, NRG destroyed them, but Mirage was one of the maps, and it was a 16-2 victory, I believe.
In favor of NRG.
Yes, so the confidence for them in that, you know, the play style of TYLOO, the way they want to approach the game, it's going to be an all-time high. So unless TYLOO can force them to respect them, they're going to keep taking those heads-up duels.
Jonta on the mic now, timeout called by TYLOO the first. Let's not forget, all 8 were used by both sides. I mean, if that makes sense. I could have just said all 4 were used by both sides, but regardless, we did have 8 timeouts on Inferno, and we find ourselves with our first coming out from the Chinese roster. Indonesia represented as well, of course, by Bentet and Excurate there on your screens now.
Some things to note, I guess, with the AUG in play. We haven't seen the AUG being picked up just yet by Cirque. He's more than happy just to play with that scope over towards middle. It gives him a lot more mobility. And the AUG also takes away the need for secondary AWPers in a lot of maps. Oh my god, look at this aggression. Breezy gets to do whatever he wants, and he makes it work. Summer absolutely destroyed. A minute 35 left on the clock, a 4-on-5 situation, no map control. The push continues towards T-spawn. All the information in the world right now for the CTs.
Yeah, that is a very quick way to make things awkward for TYLOO. Breezy, all the freedom in the world. 130 ADR so far as we're in round 5. Mid smoked and presence garnered.
Alex, have you heard the saying, mutton dressed as lamb?
Oh my goodness. Oh, good grief, I have, and Breezy does it again. 3 against the full buy. 1 point of health, he doesn't care. He's got a smile on his face. His teammates will do the rest. And NRG, their star right now, has reached double digits.
Oh no.
And he's not stopping.
Bentet was aware. You could see while we were watching his POV that he was looking over towards apps and he was checking the balcony. But the fact of the matter is, at some point, he has to turn around to go for that window duel. And Breezy has just come down the ladder, has just pivoted from Shadow, and netted himself the 4th kill. He had an ace versus an eco in the last game. He had 37 kills. Look, the reason I'm saying mutton dressed as lamb, and that's going to be directed... Oh. Okay, hold up. That's a freebie. It's 14 seconds left. This one's not going to be done. What I'm alluding to here is TYLOO were trying to play more of a reserve style, right?
Sure.
They're not going for anything too risque. Mirage is one of the most figured out maps in the pool, but normally when we talk about the Asian CS, it's a bit more aggressive, sporadic, like what we're seeing from the CIS region during this event. You know, mid-smokes, push through, hope to find the jewels, force them to contest you early, or they drop back and then you have a lot of map control. They're going for a different approach. They're not really contesting mid at the start. They're going a lot of numbers through B apps, which allows a push like this. Summer, sure, he got blown out of the server, but there's nobody close. They ramp. He's just got deathmatch here at T-spawn. That's where I got my most kills in warm-up.
Yeah, that's the angle. That was some precise work from Breezy. 11 frags, 183 ADR. I'm going to keep checking in with that because the fact that he's replicating a performance similar to that of Inferno again here just shows that he thrives versus this TYLOO roster. Something works. It's not working again for TYLOO. They eat the nade and they're eating the spray. Fugly, though, does get traded. Somebody using that SMG well, managing to reposition and causing chaos. Currently, bomb site achieved. Smokes are going to lock Cirque out of the round for now. This is one of the hardest sites to retake. We've seen time after time, both today and yesterday, just how difficult it can be.
Lots of utility on the board, though, for NRG, Alex. They can wait, they can use it, and they can retake.
Quite the contrary for TYLOO, they've got nothing. It's just going to have to be duels. Molotov's forcing him out of position, already 1 gone. Ethan starting to aggress towards short. Excure under pressure as well. They know where he is and Cirque's staring at it. His options are stand still or die. He opts for the first option. And now they're starting to fill up the kill feed, all on Breezy. If anyone could do it, it would be him, but time's not on his side, neither is Bentet. Great shot. We've got ourselves the first for TYLOO.
I need to ask a big question here, and obviously I'm not going to get the answer. It's a rhetorical one in lots of ways.
Okay, let's go for it.
The idea of leaning towards B so early, it feels like almost every round that they've been going towards that bomb site, especially when they've had weaponry, is to punish Fugly, right? He's the B anchor. Are they trying to condition the B bomb site so they have to lean another player over there early, allowing them to have easier mid control? Only one way we're going to find that out, and that's as this progresses. So once again, 4 players over towards the mid and B corridors, one guy leaning towards A, a standard default. This time they put a bit more mid presence on. But they don't want to go for the jewels early. They're more than happy to allow NRG to have full reign there. Slow approach.
Very often posturing towards B. You are absolutely right.
But this is what it's done. Yeah, it's forced the lean, though. Look at this. Cirque's had to go over there, make sure that they can't go for any executes. So now the rotation back towards the A site is huge.
And they're going to be smoking middle at the same time. They want to try and give this kind of facade of potential presence in both mid and towards B, but Cirque's pushed up. And who is that?
Lurk of Bentet.
Bentet's going to have the option, especially with that smoke now thrown by him. They are going to be paranoid about middle. No one has eyes on it. It's a big fat question mark. And now the presence on A starts to swarm. TYLOO from B to A, and Bentet's lurk pays dividends. Fugly down, smoke on CT. Daps has got nothing. He's going to try and get Ethan up above the smoke. Very popular here in Katowice, but Breezy in the meantime took a double. How does he get away with that? 13 now for him, and the bomb loose. That's going to be problematic because it's in eyes of Ethan. I say that, no. Just enough for Attacker to retrieve, but the smoke's going to be fading. He gets the bomb down. This could be possible, but not easy. It's down to Breezy. It's not really, it just rhymed. Either way, somebody does go down to him, and that's the end of that. TYLOO, it looked good. I like the thought process, but dealt with comfortably by their star again. NRG 3 attached to the belt loop of Breezy.
It looked like Attacker was split there between 2 decisions. Sure, he was able to grab the bomb, but I think when he could see the smokes were still up, he thought, hey, if the smoke's still up, I need to get this bomb down. If he had been able to pick it up and they weren't contesting and the smokes weren't there, they would have just postured for jewels, right? They could have waited for the player to come back through apps. A guy from A ramp could have swung out for a jewel when Attacker finds contact, and they could have gone for kills. So he went for the plant. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and Breezy
that second shot onto Excurate.
Oh, boy.
He was on his screen for less than a second. And starts the transfer. Little bit of luck and a whole lot of skill. Cirque under heavy scrutiny now. Just Eagles staring at him, but it is still just that one bullet. It's all it takes to take that AWP out of the running in window, but he has support, and it's, of course, the turret. That's what I'm talking about, though, Summer. Great connection. Oh, that's enough of a sound cue, surely. Cirque didn't hear it, and another one gone.
Just Eagles, you said there's nothing scarier than players who can wield these bad boys. The hand cannon causing issues early, but now...
So what's the call now then? Do you want to regroup, I imagine?
Yeah, and trade off the percentages here. Now, this is going to be huge on the spacing, right? The fact of the matter is we can see there's nobody on the A-bomb site, but they have no idea. When you have such a huge number advantage and no utility or real weaponry to work with, you kind of want to offer someone up as a bit of a martyr to give you an idea where you can all look, and somebody only has a Glock. But he's towards middle. So maybe he'll try and pull a distraction, draw some players towards middle, or he might go for a really late flank, because we can see the A ramp walk up right now.
Oh, Daps. He's got the weapon, but he hasn't got the range, because they're all going to come around the corner at the same time. How does he hit that Attacker? He takes Daps out. And now the presence from middle is there. Ethan has to focus on somebody. He can't deal with the site just yet. Somebody still crawling up middle. That's got Ethan paranoid. He starts to look towards site though, and that's going to be enough. He's starting to try and rock the clock. Summer and Excurate, they've only got Deagles, but TYLOO, they've come this far, and Excurate extends it. He's done it! I can't believe it! TYLOO, with nothing but Pocket Lint and Desert Eagles, have picked up a round versus the NRG defense.
Quite the offering right there. Free kill over towards the Cat player. Cirque not expecting someone to be under window. And from that point, just played together, traded out into the bomb site, got that bad boy down, did what they needed to do, and the pressure still is being kept on the economy of NRG. I feel like a broken record at this point, but...
Summer really set the precedent of that round, didn't he? Just the fastest jiggle peak.
This is the change-up. So they've lent towards B quite a lot. They went for more of a standard role in the last gun round, and now they're just going for an A execute.
But there is someone set up. Daps, the turret, gets one. They know where he is on triple. It's easily wall-banged, easily Molotoved, but that doesn't stop him from doing damage. Smoked out now. One on site, that was Summer. He's gone. The bomb's starting to cross now, but look at this. They've actually boosted up smoke. What's happened? Somebody! He's causing utter destruction! He's always running through smokes. Snacks is gone. It's somebody now. And another one with the AWP to finish it. That was random. This is somebody. He is such a cheeky Counter-Strike player. He sees a smoke and he just puts the blinkers on and starts running.
If you go and watch demos of this guy, that's the plays he makes. He goes for those risky maneuvers and he makes it work more often than not. The fact of the matter is,
hi guys.
You're not expecting the stack there. Sure, maybe one or two people around connector. He has made an absolute miracle happen in that moment and a big time to step up from somebody, finding himself on 7 kills, and the scoreline is now 6-3 in favor of NRG on the CT side of TYLOO's map pick. But the eco is going to have to come in from the likes of NRG now as they'll take their first pause.
See where they choose to take this.
So what have we seen so far? Lots of B lean in the early gun rounds, trying to bully over towards that B bomb site, keep Fugly honest and force Cirque or the Cat player to help him out as much as possible. Breezy roaming around the map however he feels on the gun rounds.
If I'm not mistaken, NRG have won every pistol so far. Is that right?
Yes.
See how happens if it comes to Mirage. But TYLOO, they like to be dealing with a deficit, it seems. Don't like to make those strong starts strong, but now heavy mid-presence and it should just be a spray down. Knocks down 2, but Cirque's USP precision prominent. And oh dear, Extra could lose the AWP here. Thankfully, his sidearm is trusty. And it's just going to be Daps. Doesn't play the waiting game. I think Summer was going to catch a glimpse of him all the same, and that's going to be the 4th then for TYLOO.
This is some fun stuff here.
This is a great series. We're going to have fun with this.
I think because both teams like to play heads-up Counter-Strike, they enjoy taking the fights. It's not... Look, there has been slow moments, but it doesn't feel slow, right? There's a lot of action. Breezy, absolute monster, sitting on 146 ADR still, had some really good highlight moments. As freeze time will tick down, the Orgs are out. And let's see if they go back towards that B lane.
10 flashes for TYLOO. Ready to bombard. And again, a little bit of a lean. I say that, I should take it back because it's going to be none other than Ben Tet starting to walk through underpass. Only 4 frags to his name, such a star on Inferno, but he's going to be keeping that utility in his direction. Molotov's thrown at his way. HEs.
If I'm watching a demo, Alex, of TYLOO after this and I have to play them, A-ramp is a massive hole. When they do their default, Summer always tends to go apps, so something to note.
So it's almost always, and he's at the back of Palace. It seems to be his go-to.
They're really aware for aggression, and that's not normally something we see from the Asian teams. It's more quicker pace. They take duels a bit more lackadaisical, but here they've got mid control. They haven't actually had to contest anything at all just yet. And this is where it gets interesting as they walk their way up connector. The swing from Cat and Vent Room could be huge.
It depends how quickly they get through this smoke, because they're at a bit of a stop sign. Cirque's going to be tested. They are starting to push into connector. They're making plenty of noise. They're making no secret about their presence on this site. The rotate going to have to come in from NRG, but TYLOO, they've got so much ground for free. Breezy starts to punish the lurk, and now Bentet not checking his corners. Their bad habits being punished. Cirque, the badass, he gets 2. Excurate just forced to back away now. And that's the end of that.
Feels like he should save, but they have a lot of money, so maybe he just wants to do as much damage as humanly possible here. Just because the AWP is such a key weapon, and we know it's so costly, but he wants to do damage. If they're going to offer themselves up, if they're going to get undisciplined, he'll get the kills, but the save will come in. Alex, Breezy has 17 kills.
This is happening here.
Look, you can see how dominant he is with the AUG, right? Before the AUG price dropped, he was still dominant with the M4. This is what a good player can do. Actually, this is what a great player can do with the weapon that's in vogue right now.
I mean, I could say the same about JKS. I think he's playing better Counter-Strike since he was given the freedom of the AUG.
Isn't it just a liberating feeling? It even makes players who are old get more frags.
No, I have a different theory about Breezy. I think he's been in contact with a scientist.
Okay.
And they've worked out a formula to convert clout directly into Counter-Strike skill.
See, that's another word that I'm still learning the use of.
Okay. Right, like mood.
Yeah. I'm learning what all these things mean.
Right.
Alex, I'm almost 30, so things are getting hard for me.
He's got like chains and and all the gangster, you know, he has all of the accompaniments, the accoutrements.
So it's like swagger,
Swagger.
but that's no longer, people don't use that word anymore.
No, clout. But you can have clout. Like, I think you have clout in the Australian plumbing scene, you know?
Okay.
Because they're like, oh, that Chatty B, he laid pipe like no one else. Oh dear, I didn't mean to do that.
Yikes.
Counter-Strike 12 is the number of rounds we've played, and I'm back on track. Here we are, T-side starting to go for something a bit quick. TYLOO charging towards the den of Fugly. Surely you check your corners. Bentet 2 rounds in a row, shot in the side of the head, and no calls made. TYLOO getting lazy and being punished. Sounds like a Saturday night.
Those are the communication issues that we know when you have the Mandarin, English, Indonesian mix-up.
Yeah, that's twice I've seen Bentet just such a prominent aimer, not clearing his corners. And freebies for NRG.
This is still doable though. There is a lot of utility in play right now for NRG, but there's enough time for TYLOO to set up, and all it means is Execute has to hit one shot and pivot. This cat jewel is important.
He has to win this, he doesn't. It's all on Execute. He's not in a prime position. He knows short's coming. He has to hold this. He has to hit this. He can't get the second though. Ethan, very quick on the trigger. He had to get his feet to the ground fast though, but that was enough. And that will be the 8th for NRG.
Just to note the little details of this game for everybody at home, you might be wondering, oh, you know, Cirque, he jumped through the window first. You want your AWP player to take a risk like that because the rifler can come out and trade, right? If the AWPer goes to the trade, misses the shot, that player's going to get away. These are the little details that,
I'm with you.
In the moment, you might not realize, but it's important for Cirque to be the one offering his life up.
Who's that second player?
Summer.
Not given that info.
So if Bentet's calling, you know, balcony or whatever their call for it is, and whatever language he's calling it in, right?
Yeah.
This is the problem. It's just not the natural language that's being used. And I don't want to harp on it because TYLOO are playing out of their skin.
I'm actually really grateful that we haven't got stuck in the, you know, constant loop of TYLOO communication.
Yeah.
We've actually just been able to appreciate the Counter-Strike for what it is and how well it's working. Right now, look at this little pair, Attacker and Bentet, holding hands as they start to progress towards middle. Look, looks like Cirque's going to be ready to receive them. I say Cirque, that's an assumption. Fugly has an AWP too. It will be Cirque. And so Connector acquired. Breezy's been challenging this so many times, and he doesn't have to pay a heavy price for that miscalculation. Ethan, a little bit out in the cold. He's positioned himself accordingly so that he isn't under threat from stairs or Connector, and he can focus entirely on ramp. In the meantime, Attacker does take down Breezy, and that's a huge head. 17 frags from him so far here in round 13. Taking him out makes the rest of the round feel a little bit easier. Summer, good work from him. Patience from Ethan is not quite rewarded. Instead, he's now going to get pincered. Palace can go wide. Cirque's covering that. He has to dedicate himself towards ramp, but he's gone. And now all on Cirque. This is falling apart for NRG.
2 AWPs and a retake where the money's low will be the save call. TYLOO being able to keep them honest by keeping these rounds relatively close, but Bentet wants to hunt. He's close. He's not going to get the kill. Cirque, well aware of that one. And now they get an opportunity to run away, but on the chase already will be somebody, and we know he likes to get involved. So through the underpass, up the stairs, he barrels, and he's going to see Fugly, makes the call. If they want to continue the chase, if the rest of the teammates want to get involved, they can. So much damage has been done. If he can take these guns away, this is huge. Going to alleviate a lot of pressure going into the next round.
Of course, it's somebody who's hunting.
I wonder if he's going to go all out for this because they don't have a lot of money themselves.
Any nades? A single flash on Summer. He's nowhere near it. It's just going to be a solo project.
Do it.
He's
Do
I
it.
told you, he sees a smoke.
Do it.
No, he won't. I think he'll just hang out on the edge. He's happy to keep his AK himself. A little bit of a spray. Could have walked into Fugly's crosshair.
He's like a moth to a flame.
He is. He sees a smoke and he just presses W. Okay, deep breaths. Fun fact, do you know why it's called a crosshair?
No.
Because they used to use spider silk in telescopes. The first initial telescopes that you'd use a very thin line of telescope, have spider silk in the glass, pressed into the glass.
Interesting.
It was formed into a cross shape.
Where'd you learn that fun fact?
I googled it because I didn't know the etymology of crosshair yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm weird.
We're learning things every day.
Absolutely.
Do you know, we just spoke about poor communication leading to the death of Summer.
Yeah.
Well, good communication about the player being under the balcony rewarded him with a spam kill through the floor from Palace.
Okay.
So,
What are you saying?
I guess we'll take that with a grain of salt.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
We'll swap the two and then we just won't talk about communication. They equal each other out.
It's over.
Yeah.
Communication, I mean, miscommunication happens at even the highest levels of
sure.
Counter-Strike. Admittedly, I don't know how often I've seen Israelis miscommunicate, but
They're robots, I think.
they are robots, there's no doubt about it. We'll be seeing more from them in the Legends stage, but of course here, it's time to see who will be joining them. And so far, it has been a wonderful display. Teams from around the world causing upsets, showing new takes on the same map.
This is the most competitive major format that we have ever had.
I couldn't agree more. It has been every game, bar TYLOO Cloud9 and perhaps a couple of the CIS squads, has been well over 20 to 25 rounds.
And just with the format as well, having to use the best of threes as gateways, you look at Renegades winning against ENCE today. They had to beat Avant-Garde, they had to beat Ninjas in Pajamas. They were the best of ones, but ENCE in a best of three, that's no easy task. That's a legit...
Yeah.
Oh, the B execute's going to be on. They missed the Molotov on the balcony. A little bit of a blunder there. Smokes are going to help aid in this fake. They want to bait out utility before they go in. They're not going to get a chance because Breezy's pushed all the way underpass. He's going to grab Bentep, but now there's a little bit of a flurry and scurry as the A-bomb site is open.
What's happening here, though? Daps with some hyper-aggressive position. If he just plays the waiting game here, he can punish. He gets the first, likely to be traded now by somebody, but no!
Huge.
He was an elephant. So much noise. Daps heard it.
What a huge play.
That was huge from Daps. I mean, how much info did he have to start that push? He knew that Breezy was getting a frag up.
Well, they've been getting mid-control quite easily, right?
Sure.
They've been doing the new top-mid smoke. Well, it's not so new anymore, but
Quite
the CT's
new.
dropping that top-mid smoke, going for the mid-aggression. It means that unless people are going to cross towards that mid-box, they're just going to have to sit behind the smoke. So he's gone aggressive. They've got the mid-control. He's waited as Breezy's pushed the underpass, and then from there, just been able to push on up and make sure they can't get out of the B holes.
How broken are TYLOO now? That's going to be salt in the wound. We're going to find out right now. Okay, so it is janky.
Last round of the half.
2 Galils and an AK. They've won rounds with less. But NRG heavily favored to end this half. Second map, let's not forget they picked up the first, albeit a full 30. NRG could end this half 6 rounds away from the Legends stage. We'll find out.
Definitely a pace change right here as they've gotten mid a lot quicker, but that nade is going to be absolutely devastating to the likes of Attacker.
I bet there's some fantastic utility damage per round stats from this series.
Look at Breezy. He's always in such a forward position. And look at, nobody can help him. Sure. You had Ethan near connector, but he's been smoked off. So for him to retake it, he has to make a risk, right?
But he's getting away with it time after time. This time, Ethan not so lucky. Uh-oh. Breezy's starting to get warmed up. He's got 1, got 2. Executes low, he gets 3. They're headshots. Doesn't even have to aim for the body. Pinpoint precision from Breezy as he hits 21 frags in 15 rounds. The man is a star here for the North American roster. They dominated the minor, now they dominate here in the Champions. Let me try again. Challenger stage.
There's too many names for things.
I did it. You put that in my head.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well,
that's it. That's the half here of Mirage. We're all a little speechless. We have had so much high-octane Counter-Strike, and it continues after the break. The sun has set here in Katowice, but the stars of NRG shining bright. Breezy, 21 frags here on the second map of this series. He was a big reason they managed to close it out in the first on Inferno. He's averaged 125 ADR across both maps and has won 3 of his 4 opening duels. This was how the first half of our second map ended. A lovely little 3-piece to round things all out, and they reach double digits as we venture into the second half. I'm joined by Chad, and my goodness, TYLOO need a pistol. They haven't won a single one. Chad, I think this is the time.
They definitely need it right now because Breezy's put on an absolute clinic. I don't think if he had made half of these plays that we would be seeing ourselves in the situation we have right now, as it is just going to be an A-pounce coming in. Attacker in a very forward position, so lots of pressure on him. He has to hit some shots. They've trickled out over apps, and he's going to find 1, gets 2. Unable to get the 3rd, but someone will get 2 of his own, and this leaves it all on Daps. He's going to fall. And the first round, the pistol round.
There it is.
Hooray! TYLOO. They've grabbed themselves a key round in the second half if they want to fight and keep themselves alive in this progression match.
So I got a B at maths, Chad, and I can tell you that that is a 25% pistol conversion rate.
Or
wait, they won 25% of the pistols.
Or 1 quarter.
Which is 1 over 4. And what do you call the number that's under the line, Chad?
Oh no, I haven't been to school for a very long time. What's it called?
The summon? God, I shouldn't have asked that question, really. We're such children. It's called a Dewey Decimal System. That's someone else.
I don't know, but
dodecahedron. It begins with a D. Either way.
Breezy has an AK.
He does. And that was a rhyme. Somebody finds his 10th frag towards Ethan in apps, and TYLOO are on their solid track to convert this pistol round. I'm glad we got my bumbling mathematical nonsense out the way.
He hasn't shot yet, so they don't know this AK is in play. And he's just being allowed to roam pretty much on his own. He'll have a player coming up from underpass momentarily, but the fact of the matter is...
The Superman.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot in this game, and he's going to do even more.
This is the definition of a player feeling the game. They are... Everything he is doing is just paying dividends, and now this boost... We've seen it work in the past. It's going to work again. Attacker, he had no idea. He probably still doesn't. What's the call there? Window? He's not sure. Pushing through the smoke, and Breezy is just a mobile machine of destruction. Wind him up and let him go. Summer in the meantime is going to catch 1. Breezy finally goes down. It was the MP9 of Summer to take that AK out of play. But my goodness, damage done. Cirque looking to finish it, but he's not. It's going to be 10-7. TYLOO convert their pistol.
The ramifications of that will be felt straight away. So that AK has been dropped over to allow Breezy to do as much damage as humanly possible. He's going to be able to get another AK in. But the fact of the matter is, doing that much damage on that round has forced a position where TYLOO are going to have the weaker buy, even though they've won the first 2 rounds of the game.
I'm loving that boost. That's so prolific. Just because you're worried now. You're sure you can't. If Window's smoked, you have to leave it, or you can stare at it. But you can't even play jungle without paranoia.
Yeah, you can't really hover in that position like you used to be able to. You have to respect window or keep mid control for as long as possible. And a standard mid take from NRG will come out right now. 3 players with the cat smoke, window smoke to follow, and that allows Ethan to accelerate things and potentially go for a connector fight.
Bomb loose though. They're not willing to commit just yet, but mid control being taken, clawed at by NRG. Smoke's going to be deployed by Ethan. That's going to enable him to take a fight towards connector should he want to. Bentet's going to make his presence known as the HE does land at the toes of Breezy down to 61. Ethan in the meantime catches Attacker. So, numbers favouring this T side. Decisions yet to be made as to where they want to be taking the majority of their firepower. At the moment, you are seeing a bit of a lackluster setup for the CTs on B. Just one man. Somebody. He has pushed up aggressive. Fugly surely anticipating this. He is the one with the P250. They'll send him in first. He is the scouting party. Nade's going to come in, and he's not going to win the duel. That's a problem. Now NRG find a gust of wind behind them, and they start to charge. Down to Bentet to do damage. He lines them up and tags them up. But that's not able to be converted into frags, and the rest, I think, is all said and done. This will be the 11th for NRG.
Yeah, you have to save in this situation. You already touched on in the first half how difficult it is to retake that B bomb site. So going for this would just be throwing away 2 weapons. Surprised that we didn't see some of the members actually opt for AUGs. But look, I'm sure they'll come out as the half progresses. Nice clean round there from NRG, keeping all 5 members alive.
They're playing this well. I mean, NRG, they haven't let TYLOO get under their skin, and I'm not sure if that my anticipation or expectation that they would get a little flustered due to TYLOO's style of play and the success by which they're having with it. I thought perhaps the NRG roster is full of characters that perhaps would succumb to a little tilt.
I've heard them talking in shuttles and stuff, and when people do plays which are not the norm, you know, they they think they're interesting.
Yeah,
plays.
perhaps it wasn't grounded, but they are handling it well, regardless of whether or not that is something they have a tendency to do. They've done well. NRG 11 to TYLOO 7 here on Mirage. It's our second map of our second best of 3 here on the mainstream.
Do you want a B-stream update, Alex?
I would love a B-stream update. Spirit versus Furia.
Yeah, let me just get that bad boy up before this one goes underway. It is Nuke and Furia on the comeback train on that map. It's 10 rounds to them to the 12 of Spirit.
Okay, nice. Good to see a third one there. Kind of hoping we see a third one here, but NRG with this kind of precision and with the plays like that. Again, Breezy first, but how many duels does he have to win? Keeps them coming. Ethan's going to catch attacker's aggression here. It is just going to be those saved rifles alongside the pistols, so nothing to write home about too much, but this is just going to put NRG on... Oh dear.
Nope.
Pressure starting to mount, perhaps.
Remember how we had that whole period of time where people were doing the jump smoke for Mirage window, and we were counting how many times they were missing it, and people were like, no, we're missing it on purpose.
Deliberate, yeah, okay. I remember that one. I mean, I lapped it up for a bit.
Sure.
I really gobbled that up. I was like, wow, okay, so deliberate, that's it, that's next level. Truth is, they were missing a smoke.
Okay, so this one should be very simple for NRG to win. The fact of the matter is they have full map control. They're only going up against 2 saved rifles, one of which is on an unarmored Bentet. If they just roll out onto the bomb site with their utility that they have, trade efficiently, it should be done and dusted, as some of our friends like to say. But both rifles are on the bomb site where they're headed. To play spoiler will be Breezy, as per usual, coming up through connector.
No surprises there. Extra, though, very precise as the bomb is loose. Pressure from Cirque, it's too much. Bentet looking to get the trade quickly, and he does so now, just looking to reposition safely. Somebody trying to flank on towards Ethan, but he's so ready for it. Bomb going down with cover, and that's the end of that. TYLOO 4. Looking a little flustered. NRG, they end with 3. And it's going to be 12-7 now, 4 rounds away from a spot in the Legends stage, from some days off. It's been a grind for them, but they're going to have that luxury should they secure this one.
Should be an eco now from TYLOO, all hovering around that 3K mark, maybe a bit of a pistol upgrade. Interesting they haven't gone with the pause to maybe consult the code. I was just
thinking that. No chats with Jonta on what is essentially your breaking point. Felt like they were very effective on Inferno. That's one of the reasons I felt like that game was so close.
This will be conceding 13 rounds unless they can pull out a miracle here, and that's what that's going to be, because we can only see pistols in play, a flash on Excurate, and it is just a spread. They're not actually leaning on a bomb site at all, relying on the individuals to get it done. Flashes, smokes, and Molotovs will all cascade onto the B bomb site. Somebody with the 5-7 grabs one, has a chance to reposition for the second, spams wildly, and Breezy's going to take him down. The rotation's here, though.
It is, and Ethan has got that angle towards kitchen exit. He's going to have the perfect timing. Summit caught in transition. Attacker in the meantime makes the CZ work close quarters, but it's not enough. Excurate left alone on the site.
They don't know he's here.
Last man standing. They aren't going to be falling into a false sense of security, surely. They are still taking the time. The bomb's not even being planted.
I don't think they've expected him in this forward position. Someone's watching behind. Ethan keeps jiggling over towards the kitchen window, but this close without helping his teammates? Surely not.
There's an AK on the ground, but they're going to have contact first. Yeah, Daps will finish this. No armor. Aim lock. Aim lock? Let me try again.
That was like a lure.
Punch,
that AK was like a little bit of bait in the water, because as soon as you see your eyes light up, maybe if I can get this, I can find some more kills. But the P250 at that kind of range would have been more than enough. So the crosshair going down towards the ground, that split second, enough to allow Daps to swing and find the kill. This is it. This is the most crucial gun round of this entire game for TYLOO. They lose this, it's pretty much done over. Put a bow on it. 2-0 NRG, they move through the Renegades to the next stage.
And we've got full weapons in the CT's hands. It's time for TYLOO to show us how much resistance they can put up on the CT side. And what was the decision?
Oh, come on, bro. What is that?
Excurate just trying to hightail it through middle. T's were there. They made it clear. Excurate just falling flat. Not long for this world, my goodness. Still 90 seconds on the clock, but I think that might have been a failed strafe out of window. into a panic, flustered push towards connector.
There was nobody there to help him. There was no smokes or nades to really facilitate any aggression towards middle. And he would have been considering the push from underground to really pincer him in that position. I just thought maybe he would try and at least duel around the smoke, drop his own, fight, delay, allow the teammates to come and help, but running away with knife out in mid, the most highly contested part of this entire map. It's a bit of a gauntlet to run.
Now, taking a look at TYLOO setup right now, they haven't got anyone to receive this if they were to walk out into B now. Finally, somebody does arrive. The smoke is keeping them at bay, that's why.
The question mark here is somebody's not actually spotting. So if somebody just walked, well, not if a player just walked all the way out, they wouldn't be, oh, that flash.
That's enough. Great lineup. We've seen people use HEs in exactly the same lineup, but now close quarters, he gets one, not expecting the second so quick. Bentet, you need to find more than one. There's 2 players left for NRG to try and find their 14th round here on the T side. They are on B, and bomb going to be placed down courtesy of Cirque. Flash into kitchen. Oh, there's 2 in kitchen. The quicker that Cirque can lock down kitchen, the more comfortable his teammate Dabs can be. Got eyes on it now, and info. The summer is now gone. Looking for aggression, it's going to be Bentet once again. He hasn't moved, just patience being paid off here and now. Cirque, what on earth can you do? It's a molly and there's no kit. This could be enough. Cirque, he's just dancing. Look at this movement. He doesn't have to fire a bullet. They can't go anywhere near the flames. Bentet's low. The flash is there. No one's on the bomb. There is no time. Attacker, you've got to run. You've got to get out of here. Cirque's Molotov has done enough, and now a game of survival. He's gonna get away, but that is still 14, and it was all a game of time.
14-7 now, and with that in mind, no defuse kit, the Molotov being put down at the perfect time. Cirque, we saw him with some clutches in the first map, doing it again here. Oh my god, Breezy at 28 kills.
Yeah, he's gonna have 60 in 2 maps.
It has been the Breezy show so far, and like I was mentioning before, without some of those plays that he had made, you know, like pushing apps, getting that kill, continues to push through, killing them in T-spawn, those kind of just, he's winning rounds single-handedly, right? So question mark could have been, while some of these other NRG players weren't completely warmed up, what the scoreline could have been, but we found ourselves in a position where the force by the full commitment has to come in from TYLOO. Still able to get 4 orgs on the board.
Low utility though. How long can they keep NRG at bay? Well, that's the answer to my question. The first 15 seconds shaved off the clock courtesy of a smoke to ramp. Solid default spread here from NRG. Cirque to underpass. Little unorthodox. Perhaps expecting Excret to miss that jump again. Not to be.
Yeah, it's a blunder in a crucial round, really, isn't it?
I'd like to see it again. I mean, I'm making an assumption there. I just couldn't work out why else he would be running to connector so early. Glimmer of hope, though, because TYLOO, they've got info. They didn't see the bomb, but they've seen bodies. Need to confirm it. And speaking of the bomb, it is way back in T-spawn. This is NRG. They're going on kind of a recon mission on every part of the map. Perhaps just hoping for the aim jewels to work out in their favor.
Yeah, look at these extremity players just pushing, seeing what jewels they can take, and somebody's going to win that with the UMP.
Fugly, do they know he's there as well? That's the question. Attacker catches one from the mid, but that's going to be little pincer movement. Ethan and Breezy. Bomb not yet scooped up. I think it's likely Fugly will pick it up on the rotate, but will there be any teammates to rotate to by the time he's got the bomb in his grasp? Just one man remains. It's good, but it is Breezy. Of all the players, my goodness! Excurate, deleted from the server. 18 seconds, Fugly crossing with the bomb. This shouldn't be possible, but I'm starting to get that feeling. I've got a tingle. Punching in the digits, Breezy's trying to keep this locked down. He does get one, but Bentet, can he close it out? No, Fugly gets it. 1 versus 1 now. Breezy's fragging capacity is once again giving them a chance to the round, and Fugly converts. NRG find 15. They had no right to be in that game still, to be in that round, excuse me.
Do you know how important that Breezy kill is right there? Even the fact he only gets 1 and gets traded out by Fugly, by the other player from CT Spawn. The reason that's so important is because it allows Fugly enough time to get the bomb down. That's the only place that he can cover just 1 angle while Fugly plants. So that's why they've gone for the default play here. That's clutch, that kill. Fugly then, of course, he has to get the 1-on-2 situation, but it's been made easy for him. It's given him a chance. That round should have never fallen that way, considering the way the opening duels went. And now TYLOO backs against the wall, 15-7 in NRG's favor. Benta and Summer have definitely called from that opening game, both of which only sitting on 9 kills. Nobody really setting the fire alight thus far for TYLOO. The highest, somebody with 14 frags. They're going to have to pull out a miracle here.
Yeah, they are. truly on the ropes. The TYLOO, there was just so much confidence. Bearing in mind, this is the same game where TYLOO were charging at them, flanking them down middle when they were up banana. I mean, they had so much life in them. And it seems like NRG, especially with their prowess on the first half, have really kind of taken the momentum out of the Chinese-Indonesian roster. Now charging towards middle, very dry, no smoke top mid. They're expecting something a bit different. My God, they're not expecting this though. They're going short. They could have two here in ladder room. Bentet's going up as well. It might be making noise, but I don't think you anticipate this. That's a different approach, using that window smoke for two players to get control towards B, and it's a flash attacker. They know he's there, but will they expect a second? They don't. Surely not. Back's turn. Now this could be two. Bentet needs to strike, but it's not enough.
Needed more.
He needed way more than that. It falls to somebody now, but there's so many players and such a limited chance. He's everywhere. Sporadic aiming, not converted. NRG 2 frags away from the Legend stage. Summer says no. It's not going to be good. It's all on one man. Daps, the in-game leader. He was fragging leader as well at one point, but now it's Excurate to stop them in their tracks. It's not to be. 15 still for NRG, and TYLOO find their 8, but my goodness, it feels like a matter of time.
TYLOO went from a team on the first map with crisp aim, amazing awareness. It looked like everything was clicking to here. Summer is so lucky to get away with that. He's running into the B bomb site, only worried about Cat. No awareness at all that B apps has been open the entire time. The bench player, if he had swung like a second earlier, Summer's dead. That doesn't happen. That round doesn't go to TYLOO. That's all over. NRG have put that one away.
Ooh,
the fact of the matter is, this fight right here, they're going to have to hope for plays a little bit tidier than that, because those, they're not going to be given to you every day.
Did TYLOO really not have any timeouts remaining? That's what I'm reading.
Yep. Oh.
0 timeouts, and they're staring down the barrel of a very tough comeback, and you can see just how set up this T side is. Still SMGs for Bentet, somebody. Let's see what NRG have in store for us here. Bit of aggression from the CTs into ramp. You can see this lovely little duo attacker with an element of anti-flash as well, covering their backsides should they get up mid. No cover from that from the CTs. So look at number 3. Of course it's Breezy. He has the opportunity to punish as 4 members of NRG congregate towards this connector.
Breezy kill.
That's the call in comms.
Yeah.
Breezy, go kill.
It's like we're simple.
Does somebody choose to extinguish? What does he benefit from that? Chooses not to.
Daps is running all the way back now to go get the bomb. Doesn't want to run up middle. It's gone all the way throughout, so that footsteps is going to be relatively confusing.
So much control given to NRG here.
30 seconds left now. It is going to be the A pin, so Daps is going to make all the way through T-spawn, needs his teammates to open up.
And they're off. Starting to charge. Don't forget about that presence in ramp. Attacker makes his presence known, but will they expect a second? Attacker's making the FAMAS work. Now Bentet's SMG has arrived, and Summer does fall to Daps' SMG, nearly an SMG. The CZ, licked by the flames down to 52, and he is alone. He will be scarpering with that AWP to save, but that is another survival by TYLOO.
Daps is going to be so frustrated there that he's the one who had to go all the way back to get the bomb, right? He's gone A ramp on his own that late in the round. It's never ideal to do that, and you don't expect players to stay postured forward that entire time without going for more aggression. The fact of the matter is, though, if it was on one of those mid players, that would have been the round, right? They wouldn't have needed to panic. Those players towards A ramp are useless at that point. They can just get pinned away. They can be stuck between the T-spawn player.
This was huge from Attacker. He falls, Summer's dead. Summer has to worry about that. He gets shot in the back by Daps. We've got ourselves an NRG in the Legend stage. Not the case, though, as they stand vigilant once again.
This is the last gun round NRG are probably going to have of this caliber, and it's still quite weak. Fugly only has a Deagle, Ethan has a P250, Breezy has an AK. I guess that's all that matters. Cirque on the big green, and Daps with the CZ75. He was just over towards middle, feigning some mid presence, and it is going to be a B hit.
They are starting to put all eggs in one basket to receive them.
No.
Somebody, I don't like the look of this. Neither does he. A panic flash. This could be the end, but Bentet's there to support, and they have the bomb. Get that rotate on. Burning alive. This is a massacre. It's absolutely disastrous for NRG. Look at that. The bomb at the end of the tunnel. Utility for days. Ethan grasping his fallen comrades. Big green, according to the Beaver to my right.
It's not as green anymore because you can have skins, but look, I think you should be saving right now if you're Ethan. This is going to be so difficult to get into. It doesn't feel like TYLOO, even though they're aggressive behind that smoke, are going to offer up too many kills.
Yeah, this is NRG. I mean, you've got so many opportunities. TYLOO, they have been, their play has been rife with errors. All you have to do is just find one and be ready to punish it. Solid lockdown though, and that is going to be, I mean, you would expect 11 out of this, right? NRG not going to have much.
Should be a full eco. I don't think they'll go for another force buy. Unless they feel like they're in a rush just to finish this and don't want to allow too much of an economy to be built for TYLOO, but you know, a couple of their players are already over 5k. They have enough of a bank, and the fact of the matter is, if they lose, that's it. So you're not worried about the economy. The only thing that you're worried about is winning that one round. So saving that AWP would have been the much wiser decision. Just holding that and going into another day of fighting. You're not going to achieve anything by, you know, getting a couple of extra kills and other than stat padding, which is fun, but
yeah. But with every round TYLOO acquire, just a little more confidence as they pursue overtime.
We've seen them come back, but not against match point.
I just don't see a world. 5 rounds back to back. They did it on Inferno. 9 back to back, I believe. But can they do it again when it matters? Can they truly level the playing field and take us into overtime? Train on the horizon should they do so. A spot in the Legend stage, joining Renegades as the team's locked in here from the Challenger.
Watch this classic waterfall out of Palace with a few flashes in tow towards CT spawn.
Oh, a Molotov too. And they charge into the spray. That should be all they say. Yep, that's it. Daps did get one with the Glock, but nothing to write home about. TYLOO happy to find 11.
Okay, so now we are going to see the buy come in for NRG. There won't be an AWP on the board.
Okay.
But I don't think they need that. What they were doing earlier when they were just grabbing mid-control, Breezy was going out taking fights. Even when he had that solo AK, he's more than happy to just take those jewels.
You said the AUG can sometimes, you know, be a comfortable replacement for the double AWP. Well, they've done both. Triple AUG, double AWP, and great utility.
Curious to see if somebody goes apps or cap with that. It looks like it is going to be apps.
There's a gap. Oh, no. It's perfect. Execute punishes. Does Cirque fall as well? He does. They're walking through. And a little tiny millimeter of a misplaced smoke has just brought the 12 home for TYLOO, unless something mad happens now. 3 versus 5. They're spread out. They're starting to regroup towards the A site, or at least towards T-spawn. They really haven't gained any ground yet, apart from Ethan.
NRG the new liquid?
Oh my god.
The new old liquid?
Conversation. The new old.
The new old liquid?
Mirage as well.
Oh no. Alright, so with 3 players left, they do have Ethan under window. If they can draw some attention over towards this A ramp, Ethan could have a chance to pounce and potentially get a kill, but he's been spotted now, and that could be over and done with. As he's going to spam, he's going to try and take down Attacker. Finished with on the assist with Bentet, and now it's just Fugly and Daps who have to walk up A ramp into the AWP of Execute. Fugly's dropped, and now Daps is left alive.
If I'm Daps, I'm just having a conversation with my teammates while I try and clutch.
They still have 2 timeouts, right? 2 times out of the next 3 rounds. It shouldn't be too difficult to come up with a...
Take one before the next buy?
Yeah, they can also go for a pistol upgrade right now. They don't need to go for an all-in buy.
Right.
The loss bonus is maxed on out. So for them right now, just go for a pistol armor, grab some utility, and use one of those pocket struts we've been talking about.
Okay, that makes sense.
The B smokes with at the pillars and the site Molotovs, or you could just go for a standard A execute.
What's been the biggest gap in TYLOO's CT side then? Where, if in a dream world, where would NRG be taking this half buy?
I think, look, I would have said over towards that B bomb site, but now that the double AWPs are established, they might not be able to get enough map control. They are just going for standard mid play here.
Charging through that smoke, and this is aggressive. Doesn't look like Breezy's showing any signs of slowing. Willy Wonka would be proud. Now Attacker. It's 1. Not quite sweet enough, though. Bentet's going to find a second onto Daps. They need to keep this tidy. And Summer, he's dancing with Ethan in the smoke. And Fugly's going to trade. This is getting a little problematic for TYLOO. They should be able to wrap it up and put a bow on it, but it's ugly. It's messy. Bentet finishes it off on Cirque, and now all on Fugly. He is in Palace, long range with approximately 13 bullets to kill 3 players. That limited clip size of the CZ can come back to haunt you when in those clutch scenarios. But he's accepted it. So have we. TYLOO on 13. That would be
They need to take a pause after this.
Yeah, that's the timeout, right?
Yeah, definitely just talk through all the different scenarios. Get I'm a Pet to give his insight, see where he's been looking at gaps, see what he's seen that's worked before. In the earlier stages, after they won that first gun round, it was kind of just a cascade of rounds because it was punishing the economy of TYLOO constantly until they pulled out that miracle and got back in it. Think about it. There was that B round where Summer got so lucky pushing out of Kitchen, gets those 2 kills on the players pushing up Catwalk. That round really should never have unfolded like that because of the lack of awareness. TYLOO didn't look like they were even in the right positions at the right time. They did get lucky, but now it's looking good. Now, being gifted that round, they've been able to put all the pieces of the puzzle in the right place. Sure, that was a scrappy round there to end things off, but they're looking good. And Summer has gone for the M4, which he's been fragging heavily with the AUG. I don't understand.
It must be a positional thing. He must have a preference depending on how dedicated he has to be to the B site. See how they shape this one up then. It is time to see if TYLOO can truly weather what has been a brutal NRG T-side storm so late here in the second map. Somebody, I love this aggression. Smooth moves. Gives them all the mid-info they need. Not when the flashes are up, though, and that's fantastic. One must have been Breezy. It was. Straight over, using the flash just to guise his cross, and then enough intel to take somebody down to 3.
Is Attacker in sandwich at A, or is he looking all the way? No, he is in sandwich, so he might have been looking down the A ramp. That forward position could be vital if they go for an A split. It can be difficult to clear, and Execute's getting close with the AWP as well. That's going to be an interesting duel over towards A ramp.
Are they going to push this? Ethan, sink or swim, fight or flight. He chooses fight. It's only going to be a trade, though. Ethan for Execute. He finds the frag with the AWP. Those double orbs. The problem is if that bomb goes down. Miles away from the premise right now. Bomb still in T-spawn, but Breezy...
What? Oh, he didn't realize anyone could be up Cat.
He finishes the job. Somebody caught off. Tagged him down. 97 points of damage at the start, and that 3 taken away from him when it matters. Now the B site wide open. We know it's hard to retake. This looks like curtains for TYLOO. They'll have plenty of shots towards the Legends stage, but this one's NRG's. This one is Summers, though. Damage done. Fugly trades. Now all onto Execute. 1 versus 2 to keep TYLOO in the running. Fugly, he's being hunted. It's Breezy to finish it. Of course it is. 34 frags. Exceptional work from the North American, and exceptional work from NRG to keep cool under that late game pressure from TYLOO. A 16-14 Inferno, 16-13 Mirage, tested to their very limits by TYLOO.
Over both of those maps, as close as what you just stated, Breezy is the absolute hero here. 66 frags, 111 ADR. What a monstrous performance to get them through to the next stage of the major. Fantastic stuff.
NRG, it was a harrowing story over at the end of 2018. They couldn't get through the minor to get to London. Daps spent the weeks harrowing away on analyst desks, and now he finds himself comfortably dominating both the minor and the challenger stage. So much more from NRG. Now Daps spent the last time on the analyst desk. This time, we've got a handsome bunch of fellas. Tristan and Sorrentis, it's over to you.